Thanks for joining us, everyone. We're just waiting for the rooms to fill.
Hi friends, families, communities from Canada and all over the world. This is Operation Hug a Trucker, and we're here with Taking Back Our Freedoms, our veterans, and our operational control for the convoy. So just to let you guys know what we have for you today, it's our job to try to counteract the narrative of the mainstream media, which we know is non-factual. We do have some truth that will come to light today. We also have some information on how you can support us and support our initiatives to stand against the emergency mandates. And I'm going to pass this over to Roy because he's got far more important things to say.
I think, Dana, you're always more important, at least more fun things to say, that's for sure. I'm the executive director with Taking Back Our Freedoms, and of course, one of the things, the mandate we have is to put maximum pressure on our politicians to end the mandates and the emergencies. And our focus initially was on MLAs because most mandates are provincial. We never imagined such a crazy move on the part of the Prime Minister to actually require truckers to take vaccines at the time when Omicron is the most minor of the virus, is exactly precisely the time when there was no need for further vaccines. So the Prime Minister initiated everything you see happening here in Ottawa. If you're upset about what's happening in Ottawa, you need to give the Prime Minister a call. That's the person that's responsible. But of course, his move, again, he decided that first of all, he's going to insult all of those who are disagreeing with him. His version of an emergency is when he dislikes people, disagrees with him, he considers those people enemies of the state. That's the thinking of a tyrant. That's not a democracy. In a working democracy, you always welcome differences of opinion on even important matters, like whether you should mandate a vaccine or not. People have a right to that difference of opinion. The real emergency is we have a Prime Minister who thinks and is operating like a tyrant, and that's the real emergency we have. But nevertheless, the legislation introduced by the Prime Minister is a very serious threat to our democracy. And so yesterday we urged people to get started in a campaign to put maximum pressure on our members of Parliament. That's the first line of defense because they're in session right now. They could, in theory, have a vote tomorrow. And if the Prime Minister has the votes, he might do that. And so we urge every Canadian to get on the phone and go to our website, tbof.ca. You'll have information there that will give you everything you need to know what to do. Bottom line is we need to phone our members of Parliament and urge them to not support the mandate, or pardon me, the Emergency Measures Act, and to oppose the extension. He has up to 7 parliamentary days to do that. But again, it says up to 7 parliamentary days. A lot of people think, oh, it'll be 7 days from now. No, it could be tomorrow. So that's the first step we've taken. And in addition now, we're now urging a second step, and that is that everyone also call your senators, because that's where, again, a vote has to also take place with the Senate. They're not currently in session. So in theory, the earliest that could happen is next Monday or Tuesday. But we want to encourage people, if you've called your member of Parliament, to now also call your senators in your province. So for example, in Alberta, we have 3 senators from the province of Alberta. Every Albertan should be calling those 3, calling both their office here in Ottawa as well as their home office, and as well as emailing them. And we need to have overwhelming voices speaking to our senators, rational voices, sensible voices, but overwhelming voices speaking to our parliamentarians, both the members of Parliament and the Senate. And so then the third thing that we're going to urge everyone to do, if you're part of an organization, as we have an organization called Taking Back Our Freedoms, there are dozens of organizations, maybe even hundreds of organizations in Canada that vigorously oppose what the Prime Minister is doing. Even the Civil Liberties Union, a left-leaning organization, is opposing these measures. And all of these organizations need to write briefs to all parliamentarians and to the senators so that we hear from organizations. And I have as an example a brief. We're not going to read it here, but I passed it out to the media people that are here in the room. We're going to be posting that on our website as an example of a letter written by our lawyer, Jeff Rath from Calgary. And I spell his name W-R-A-T-H, but actually the real name is R-A-T-H. He can sometimes be very strong in his opinions and expression of opinions, but he's also very right. And so we have a powerful letter that we're going to be sending in to all parliamentarians on behalf of our organization. And whatever organization you're part of, the veterans groups, the police groups, the freedom groups of every kind, it's very important for the next few days to get a letter together and send it to every single parliamentarian, every single senator. They all need to hear from all of us, and with a resounding voice. This is by far the greatest threat against our freedoms in the history of this country. Now, I'm of German background. I know that there was a time when you needed to fight a war twice, actually, against the Germans, but they were on the other side of the ocean at that time. They were a very real threat. The threat we face is the loss of democracy and freedom coming from within. And every person that is concerned about that needs to do everything you can. Others in the past actually literally risked their lives going to war. All we have to do is risk your reputation, possibly your bank account, figure that one out, but do the right thing. We're fighting for freedom. You need courage at this time. You need to know that this is the right thing to do in the right side of history. Don't allow intimidation to cause your voice to be silent. And so I want to encourage people in those 3 steps. Call your member of parliament, call your senator, senators. You have lots in Ontario and Quebec, by the way, so you have more work there than in Alberta. But call them and email them. And then if you're part of a group, let's get these letters together and let's make a powerful message, very, very powerfully delivered to our parliamentarians so they have no doubt about where Canadians stand on this issue. So thank you very much. Again, there should be a copy for everyone. The Death of Democracy in Canada, written by Jeff Rath, again, legal counsel. This man has, in the past year, donated over $1 million pro bono to the cause of freedom. This guy's a true hero, a true man of conviction, and so I'm proud to have him as a board of directors, along with Mr. Peckford as our chairman of the board, Premier Peckford. We have an amazing group of people, but the most amazing people are the citizens of Canada that need to now be mobilized as a voice for freedom. Thank you very much. Oh, just one more thing. Every single day in this room from now on, we're going to have at 1:30, so you all know, right, a daily press briefer. And so this room is available for, of course, other groups that want to use it, but we're going to do this daily press briefer every day at 1:30 here in this room. So there's a briefer tomorrow at 1:30, and so we'll have some really interesting announcements then as well. Oh, I should have introduced Jeff. Jeff, one of the heroes in the Team Konwój room. This guy, yeah, you take a lot of flack and are doing an amazing job. So just go ahead and share with us. Sorry.
Thanks, Roy. My name is Jeff. It's really an honor to be here with so many dedicated people doing so many good things for the citizens of this country, which is in turn motivating the entire world to speak up and stand up for what is truly good. I've come here and kind of fallen into a role to be an operations coordinator, and really what that is, it's a fancy title for somebody that likes taking care of people. So the job or the task that I've been given is to surround myself with incredibly kind and intelligent, dedicated individuals that all work together to make sure that the people who are here in the streets, in their vehicles, in their trucks, stay fed, they stay warm, they stay happy, and they stay safe. And that is really what's happening outside today. The news, the legacy media, as I'll call them, and we're starting to find out that they're nothing but a bedtime story because there's not a lot of reality going on out there today. They throw a lot of noise, they get a lot of people back home nervous, they get a lot of people here nervous, but as long as we stand together and we stay united and we stay peaceful and hopeful, we can move mountains. One person with one pickaxe isn't going to do much, but thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people pick up that pickaxe and they all work on the exact same mountain. We're going to move that mountain. It's just going to take time. But I just want to make it clear. I'm part of the team that's boots on the ground every day. I couldn't do it without the support of the members that we have behind us, the veterans, the public support, and the organizers. It's an effort that has to be combined all together. Unity is the message, and together we will rise. But together, we're making sure that everything stays positive. There is no need for any word of emergency here. I mean, if I can find something that's an emergency, all of the garbage that we've collected and centralized is starting to pile up, and I guess we need to get a little bit more city help to get that stuff out of here. I don't know if it's an emergency when food shelters are full of food and they don't know what to do with all of the excess donations. But it's an emergency for us because we don't want food to spoil, so we've increased our reach and we're going outside of the city of Ottawa to other communities. I'm not sure if it's an emergency when people share strong feelings, good conversations, hugs and love. I would say that's an uplifting, great experience. So the emergency here is false. It's been created by people who want to oppress a message of pure goodness. And let's not stop perpetuating that message. Let's not stop that motion. And you've heard, there's a lot of people that have engaged, probably every single person that's here. If you've got friends and family that have been here, we can all say, people back home, how can I help? What can I do? You have now heard how you can help. Not just being here, but supporting what is going on globally. Knocking on the doors, ringing the bells, making the phone calls, sending the letters, sending the emails to those members of Parliament to let them know that we are truly concerned with what is happening in that house. And it is not right. We can all take action, and we can all stay engaged, and we can all get back to where we need to be, where we want to be, and where we never should have left. And that's free, enjoying everything around us by our own choice and being accepted collectively and respected for the choices that we have. This, for me, has been nothing but healing. And every person you talk to that felt pushed away, put in a corner, and ignored, all found a dark place in their own way. And I've seen it with the conversations that I've had. This is healing. This is a strong message worldwide to anybody that still feels alone. You're not alone. You're absolutely not alone. And we will continue staying here unified, holding the line, peacefully, patiently waiting as citizens of this country to be acknowledged. There is no emergency, but there is a whole lot of love. I'll pass it back to Dana and thank you.
Well done. Good follow up that. So, in search of the truth. Every day we hear things on mainstream media. Every day our freedom-loving group. This is a war for freedom, right? It's a social media / mainstream media war. We come across things, we wake up in the morning and we're like, shit, that didn't happen. Excuse my language. But I'm being honest here, I'm a real person, so I'm not gonna pretend I'm somebody I'm not. So I met these wonderful veterans, these gentlemen here, every day escort us to make sure that we are safe in our deliveries to our trucks. And you gotta ask yourself, who are we trying to be safe from? We're trying to be safe from the very people that our government appointed to protect us, which is the police of Ottawa. You know, if I'm an adult and I'm afraid, can you imagine what the children of Ottawa feel like when they see all these stormtroopers and stuff come by? It's very intimidating, right? So we have a story for you. We have right from the horse's mouth, the gentleman that removed the fence at the War Memorial did it because it was their War Memorial. They fought for those rights. They fought for the freedoms that we stand for today, and they do not deserve to be disrespected by mainstream media. So I'm going to give them the opportunity that they deserve to stand up on the front lines with us again against mainstream media and tell you what really happened on that day. Jake, it's all yours.
Excuse me. So every day at 1 p.m. veterans meet at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. There was an incident the first Saturday, and 5 days later they put the fence up on a Friday. So for 8 days we were cleaning the snow off, salting it. I've personally had 60 Ottawa residents tell me they've never seen the monument that clean or well looked after. My question would be to the government is, where is the honor guard and why isn't that spotless every day? So the last Saturday, we all got together as a group of veterans and decided to take the fence down because there should not be a prison around our greatest monument for freedom. And we mounted 24/7 guard on it at all times.
So I'm going to tell you the real truth about what it's like on Ground Zero. There's, we have nothing to be afraid of because we're here for the right reasons and on the right side of history. But that doesn't stop the intimidation, it doesn't stop the lies, and it doesn't stop the vicious circle that we've been in that rolls on a weekly basis, okay? So let me explain to you how it works to be here on the streets. Friday is a good day for us. Why? Because we have a huge influx of Native Ontarians that migrate to Ottawa. We know that the government's not going to flex and send their turkeys out with their chests puffed out to intimidate us on the street or to scare our truckers to go home. So we catch a little break between Friday and Sunday. Once Tuesday rolls around and the streets get quiet and, we've got 9 and 10 and 12 and 14 and 15 people setting pylons up and, just flexing. I've never seen so much flexing in my life. But anyway, I'd like to call on as many people as we can to join us in Ottawa. Bring your children, bring your families. I mean, we've got more protection than anybody. We're all a bunch of freedom lovers here to take care of each other, but we need that presence. We need those eyes to help share the truth to the world. We need the support of the men and women that are in those trucks that are fighting for our freedoms.